flies. Oh, shit.
Quiet on the set. Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on November 17th, 2021. And our guest today, I'm happy to say, is a regular for the show, regular on the show, Mario Karth. Okay. And I gave him a very convenient URL, Mario the Recruiter. I had to remember it, MarioTheRecruiter.com. Down there is another regular, Michael G. Cox, who picked his own URL after I pushed him. Okay, I have to say I'm the instigator, thesalesrecruiter.com. Okay, that's a very good one as well.
Thank you for pushing me.
Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, don't tell me I didn't. I mean, you had Zagworks or .com, something like that.
I still got that too.
Hey, that's a cool name.
I know you still got it, but you don't use it here. Hey, everybody,
No.
this is a lesson. And you might just think I'm ranting, but this is a big lesson. Get a good domain name that's easy for people to remember. How many times do I have to keep saying it, okay?
Animal,
Mario,
I took your advice.
Listen to me. I had to pick it for him. Okay.
I took your advice, and guess what? I bought Zeller. What was it? The amazing Zeller.com, and I gave it to Derek Zeller.
Yeah, he couldn't pay $25 himself. He had to let you.
Dude, it was.
It's like $7 on Wix.com. What's the big deal?
It wasn't even that much. It was like $19 for the first year or so. So
where?
Okay.
$17, I think it was.
Adam, I'm thinking of getting a name called Hunter, Humane Hunter.
Human Hunter? Well, it's not
Humane
bad.
Hunter. Humane, not human.
Humane. Okay, people think you're going to be a rescue for the a dog rescue outfit. I just want to welcome Ernie, Food Industry Recruiter. I picked that, okay? Foodindustryrecruiter.com.
Solid.
And we're ready to go. Okay, Mario. Okay, since you're a regular, I mean, I have tons of questions, but is there anything you want to talk about? Is there anything burning that you want to throw out to these experts here and talk about before I raise the issue? Or tell us what you do, first of all, okay? I'm never sure exactly.
Right. So what we do is we recruit people for the US within the US. Simple as that.
What kind of people? That was what the question
specifically
meant, okay?
IT, mostly IT guys with clearances, and some associates here and there. I mean, law guys, legal
guys. What kind of IT guys? Just
tech,
programmers?
You can say tech, for example, programmers, developers. We also DBAs, admins, architects, system engineers.
Let me ask something. But that's not your own profession, IT, right?
Yeah.
You're not an IT guy, right? Did you study that in school?
No chance. God knows what I studied in school.
Did you ever work as an IT guy? Did you ever work as an IT?
Per se as an IT recruiter?
No, that's not the question.
I'm not an IT guy. Give me a break, but I know my way around computers.
He's got no functional experience. I got to pull it
out.
Yeah,
I know to use computers, man. I can troubleshoot a PC.
Okay.
Does that count as an IT guy?
No. Okay, but here's
in my world it does. I don't know the first thing about it.
Yeah, I wanted to know how you learned to be a specialist in the IT field when you first started up. Did you work in a company where you had people to refer to?
I worked in a company.
What's this guy? Yeah, okay. So they taught you. They taught you. The other
they taught us shit. I'll tell you very frankly. They taught us shit. Okay. The difference is this. I read a lot about it. I learned a lot about it on the job. That's the fact.
How did you read about it? What did you go to Wikipedia?
How long have you been doing it?
From 2011, you can say. So about 10 years, take away 1 year from it. 11 years, yeah. 11 years roughly, yeah. So,
how did you read about it? How did you read? Where did you read it?
Online.
What?
I mean,
where online? Okay.
You Google it. Simple as that. Let's say example. I give you an example. I get a job. I was working for someone else. All right. Okay. For 5 years, 6 years, 4 years precisely, I worked for other people. Okay. Then I branched out on my own. Okay. I literally burnt my papers and walked out and said, I'm going to do business full time. All right.
Yeah.
I threw, believe me, my wife, my fiance at that time, she was my girlfriend at that time. She freaked out. Okay. She's from the typical employee kind of background. Okay. So, they can't live without their monthly paycheck. Okay. And I'm like, screw it. I'm from a business family initially, right? Parents are into business. So what happened is
hand movements. I love them. Okay. Look at his hands going like crazy.
So,
go ahead.
So what happened is
you got to move your head.
Yeah. Hey, you talk, you gotta move your hand when you're trying to be
Okay.
upfront about. Okay. So what happens? I learned animal. It's very simple. You read about it. You get a job description. You try to
You know
understand
what?
what they do.
Come on. Everybody's got to agree with me. I've been asking him for 5 minutes. What did you
I'm
read?
ranting.
And he refuses to tell me. Okay, it's a secret. It's a
I
professional
can't
secret.
remember what I read, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
something very simple. If you give me a job description, like for example, today we were not today, last Friday we worked on SQL DBA with a top secret clearance, okay, and performance tuning experience, okay. Now, when you take it, you have to know what SQL DBA does, so you research on it. What does a DBA do? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
What is
okay.
SQL? How does it work? How do they work together? You just read a little bit. You don't need
Okay,
everything.
you know what? There's so much terminology that you don't understand if you haven't done it before. You're going to have to be going through every hyperlink. It's like you have to essentially read a book before you can do the search.
Animal, that's why my guys do the work for me.
Okay, well, that sounds like Jerry. He never has. Oh, I got a sorcerer. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Same here.
Okay, I'm going to move on. 10 minutes
All
or
right,
5 minutes trying to figure out how he became an expert. Mike or Ernie,
I
do you
am no
have
expert.
any
These
questions
guys
about
are
that?
experts, man.
Any questions about that? Should I
I don't
pursue
know the
it?
first thing about IT and DBAs and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you took some jobs for engineers this year, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was terrible. And honestly, the only way I connected was I got very specific about the titles. And I flat out said, look, I don't know what a water engineer is. I've
Okay,
done
that's
some
different.
Google searches. I watched a couple YouTube videos, but I don't know what you do. So, you know, bear with me.
Animal, I
I
want to
want you to
specify
feel very
something.
confident, okay, in
But
me.
but
Animal,
the approach that I took was I started with a connection request on LinkedIn. I started connecting and messaging, and then we got to the point where they felt comfortable to jump on a quick call because I said, hey, I'm not sure if this would make sense for you. To make sure, we need to have a quick 5-minute chat. Can you speak right now? And some of them said yes.
now, see, the problem is this. I'll tell you something, Animal. There are two types of engineers in today's market, okay? The IT and the non-IT engineers. Both involve different approaches, okay? I have worked non-IT also, and I have worked IT. I know what Michael is talking about. Okay.
Okay, okay, you're slipping off the page now. You know, you're the guest. I can't have you down there in the bottom of the
Sorry,
page.
but I was just
Okay.
leaning back, So yeah. So as I was telling, there are two types of, disciplines now. Nowadays, the world has changed to IT and non-IT.
Yeah,
Michael
okay.
is talking about IT, non-IT. I was talking about, Michael, have you ever worked this software engineering guys, hardware engineering guys in IT? Oh no. Okay, good. Right.
Okay, let me move on. I saw
Please.
an outrageous or inflammatory
Travis.
I saw an inflammatory comment by you, Mario,
What?
on
Oh, Jesus.
LinkedIn. This
What have I
other
said?
recruiter, a woman, her name's Stephanie. I don't know any more than
Oh,
that.
Jesus. She gave the dumbest advice on the freaking planet. Give me a break. I stick to what I said. I hold to my guns.
Okay.
Give me a
What was that?
bazooka.
Essentially, she
Some
just said,
stupid
look,
shit
if
she
you're a
spoke.
candidate and you go into a company for a series of interviews and you don't feel like you can connect personally with the people who are speaking to you, get out of it. Just withdraw your candidacy. And I think that's smart. And you said it's
That's
the dumbest.
stupidity. Animal, you
Why?
cannot make a decision on a first impression. That's the problem in today's generation. They don't like it, they walk out. Hell, give it a shot. You never know whom you can meet. If you want to grow in life, you got to be able to put up with some bullshit. Okay, even if you can't make a connection, you never know whom you can meet in that company who can help you or train you. Okay, that doesn't mean you take a shit ass job. But what I'm saying is that see, it's very simple. She spoke from a position of entitlement. Okay, not
Does
everyone might be
anybody
in her
agree
shoes.
with him, Ernie?
Don't
I
agree.
didn't see
give
the
you
original
shits.
post. What was?
I can
my
read
guns.
it. I can read it to you. Okay,
Please go
but
ahead.
let's see. You understand what I'm saying, Ernie? I can't hear you.
Ernie's
Don't tell
on
me you're
mute.
doing this every week.
Yo, Rich,
What's happening?
So
I'm the guest today. The sacrificial
I would
goat.
disagree.
Go ahead, Michael G. Cox.
All right,
Wow.
I would probably disagree, but if there wasn't any kind of a informal introduction to the opportunity beforehand that would have helped with making some sort of cultural connection, yeah, maybe that would have helped. But I mean, kid.
Well, what are you talking about? Here's the thing. Culture Fit now. I just want to point out that Rich Rosen is a living proof that you could make $1 million a year and have a real, as this guy Mario would say, a shitty looking office. Okay.
Hey, that's Rich Rosen you're talking about. He's the god of the recruiting animals too.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
god of the animals.
Okay. Okay.
My
Mr.
office
Rich-
is a sty. You should see my office. Listen, you want to see it? It's a disaster.
Okay.
You know,
What?
it's-
You know what?
This is
I'll
what I
tell you
listen.
something about
Listen,
domain
I
names
got
with
dogs
this
in
guy.
here. I got everything. I got a giant monitor.
That's actually better from not where you're showing us, okay? But this guy's already had a good URL, but even though I've been telling him I'm spending money on, I'm trying to find a good URL, he didn't tell me that he owns softwaresalesrecruiter.com.
the software salesrecruiter.com.
The softwaresalesrecruiter.com. That's him from now on this show. Okay? Let me get into something. Michael G. Cox was
This is the
saying
best.
you have to tell the
Nice.
candidate in advance something about the culture of the company, and then she'll know whether it's worth going out. But everybody's telling us, oh, culture is just bias, okay? It's bad. I don't think so. I want to work with someone I can relate to, who's got a sense of humor, who doesn't mind talking about current events without going crazy, okay? Is that bad to tell the candidate this is the kind of company you're going into? Is that what you're talking about, Michael G. Cox?
Yes,
busy.
you help them out with that a little bit. Absolutely.
Well, no. Don't be general. Be specific. When he says that you should go into any kind of company and, take the job even if you don't like the people, I think that's stupid.
No.
Okay?
Animal, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that. I meant you can't base your decision off one person. Okay.
I
The
agree.
person was saying they had one interview.
Yeah, that's what she said, right? You read the article properly. She says that if you don't like an interview, you can
Here's
get
what
another
she
one.
said,
It's
Ernie.
freely available. Jobs
Ernie.
are falling like flies.
No, if you get into an interview, what you should do is be able to go through the complete interview, get the job offer, and then decide what you want to do.
Exactly. That's my point.
Oh, but the issue that we're experiencing is there are so many opportunities and so many offers flying all over the place that at the first they candidates are behaving like deer. The moment that you just make the tiniest little noise, they just scatter, they run off, they
No,
just
trust me, I'm
dismiss everything.
experiencing
They don't need to deal with the BS. So why
They
should
don't.
So
And people like that female are promoting it. Okay, simple as that. Oh, it's raining offers. It's raining jobs. What about the person who doesn't have a job and is desperate for one? And
that's just
because
stupid
believing
then.
in what, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I wrote, Rich. I wrote that. This is the stupidest comment ever. I wrote it.
I mean, if you're desperate for a job, but you didn't like the one person, maybe it's the person without the job's got the issue. There's
Hold
no
on.
reason people
I
can have a
just
job in this
created
market.
I just created before the show the Rich Rosen rule. I put a tag on it. If you're dealing, this woman said she was doing business development and she had so much negotiations and tourists with the client before they finally signed them up. They turned into a paid client, but she says the way they are at the beginning, that's the way it's always going to be. So she's making money from them, but it's a tug of war the whole time. And I said, the Rich Rosen rule applies here. If they are not friendly, if you don't connect with them on a personal level, walk away, forget it. And so why shouldn't that apply to the candidates as well? Now Rich is contradicting himself, but am I right, Rich
Yeah,
Rosen?
that's a big contradiction there.
See, you need to, no, wait.
Absolutely not a contradiction. Candidates, if you do not have a job and you can't find a job and it's always someone else's fault. I didn't like Joe. I didn't like Jane. I didn't like this person. Maybe they should look in the mirror. If you have a job,
we're not dealing
Exactly.
with mostly people who are unemployed. We're dealing
well,
with
that's
people
that's
who
that's
have
what Mario was talking about.
No,
I know,
Mario's talking about going through the whole experience
Yeah,
before
exactly.
you make up your mind.
Exactly. What's
You're
wrong
gonna
with
stick
that?
your foot in the water,
On-
keep walking.
Okay.
Keep going.
Topic.
Michael G.
Hey,
Cox is
wait,
telling
Michael
me.
wait.
G. Cox's beard is turning grayer by the minute.
Yeah, it is. Okay,
He dyes it.
Mario. Okay,
Thanks.
This is my
Mario.
marker.
Please
You
go
asked
ahead.
if anybody could recommend to you any good books about recruiting. Okay,
Yeah.
and also some other topic, interviewing. Did you ever come up with any that you found worthwhile?
I read the executive. David Perry's books were awesome. I read both
Yeah,
of them.
Derek Ferris is great.
What
great.
executive
Rich, when are you
recruiting?
writing a book? Yeah,
For,
executive
recruiting
dummies.
for dummies, executive
Yeah,
recruiting
yeah.
for dummies.
And
That's-
I don't remember the last title. There's another one also.
yeah,
There's
great.
another one.
Yes, a bunch.
Yeah, hiring greatness. Exactly. I have notes somewhere. My memory's gone for shit.
His
Maybe I'm
first
doing gray hair
edition
now.
of, he invited me to go before I didn't know who he was. He invited me to go for breakfast at 6 in the morning at a hotel downtown. So I show up and he gives me this book. And says, well, I want you to review it for me on your blog. Right. And I figure, oh no, what if I don't like it? I read it. It was fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Your
is
blog.
fantastic.
What
It
year was
was.
this? 1980.
It was quite a while ago. Okay.
It was a
And
bathroom
the
post.
thing is though, he is a very good writer. Okay. He's a good writer.
I mean,
He always
does.
claim. I talked to Dave a lot. He always claims he's not a good writer, and he is.
Yeah,
a very
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
He
yeah,
combines with other people.
that's false vanity. He thinks he's a good writer. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions for Rich or Ernie or Mike? You said you want to use this time to ask some questions.
No, I normally
Mario.
ask during the other show parts. Okay, so I actually have no questions. Please
Okay,
go
I'll
ahead.
move on. I've got every question you ever asked. On,
wait, did
Facebook
he
group.
ever move
I have
to?
tons of questions.
Did he ever move in with Rich?
I plan on doing that. Let me just get his coordinates.
Okay. Okay. Let me see what I think is going to be good. Oh, you know what? Here's a question I had. Everybody's always talking about subject lines. And I think I've mentioned before, we had a guy on the show years ago, and he found a guy that nobody could get in touch with. He wouldn't respond to anybody's outreach. So he found his blog and he found out that he liked Flaming Hot Cheetos. And the recruiter liked Flaming Hot Cheetos as well. So he put Flaming Hot Cheetos as the subject line to his recruiting email. The guy called him back and he placed him. I was thinking that would be a good subject line for any recruiting outlet. It doesn't matter if you found the guy's blog and he likes the Cheetos or not. Would you think people would open an email that said Flaming Hot Cheetos? Over to you, Mario. Maybe you don't know what Flaming Hot Cheetos
I know what
are.
Flaming Hot Cheetos are, for God's sake.
Just say no and move on.
No, I don't think anyone will open it. End of story.
Anybody? Ernie?
I wouldn't do it. I
Mike?
wouldn't do it.
Mike is going with the hands, or no, he doesn't
No,
like it.
no.
And Rich-
Probably
okay,
not,
I
no.
thought it was a good idea. Okay,
It's cute, and you
not
know what?
here
If
today.
if you have the
It's-
time to do that with every individual, knock it out.
Exactly.
Go
If you
for
want
it.
to talk to 7 people,
Exactly.
that's great. You
Yeah,
know?
obviously. Who the hell has time for that?
Well, that's why if you there's a software program called, I don't know, I may mention this before. I don't even use it, but I've been playing with it a little. I was playing with it. My trial ran out. Called SmartWriter.ai, and that will scan a guy's LinkedIn profile and create the intro for you.
Rich,
Based
so you're
on-
not using it.
Because I don't have time. it's,
Yeah,
it's
you don't-
if
really
you want to,
don't
you
have
know,
that.
You know,
It-
one of the things that I recently did was I put their first name on the subject line.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing
And
that for
just
some
say
time.
like, Rich, are you interested in HR manager role? And then
I just put the first name. I just put Mario, Ernie.
Yeah.
That's it.
and
Sometimes
you do that, and I found a lot of people opened it up. But the interesting part, I did kind of a mass emailing just to see what would happen, and I found a lot of folks responded, but a lot of them responded, and they were very personal. They said, "Hey, Ernie, how you doing, man? What's going on? How's the family and all that?" And for the life of me, I could not remember ever having talked to them, but they did. they did remember talking to me.
That's the best recommendation for an email subject line that I've ever heard
True.
on this show.
So
Okay.
what you
Okay,
also
so stop
do, what you
asking
also
about the
do is
Flaming Hot Cheetos then.
Yeah.
but
I
what
won't
you
have
also-
to anymore. I'll ask about Ernie's line.
no, but
Yeah.
if you get the template, you get a template on an email, and you where it says name, and you copy that and you put that on the subject line, it'll do it automatically, and it'll take care of stuff for you, and then you just write your template.
Okay, Mario, what did you say? You're doing the same thing as Ernie already? But
Yep,
don't work
I
while
am.
you're the guest, okay? I don't
No,
mind if
no,
somebody
Sorry,
else.
sorry
works.
about that.
but
Hey,
not
I have to do
you.
business also. Okay. Yeah.
Me too.
So yeah, what do you call? Yeah, I do that. We have been doing that for quite some time.
Well, no, but, I
But,
mean, okay. What did Rich say? He just puts the name.
Yeah.
I'll just put the first name and that's it. Or I'll put, Jim, would you consider leaving company name?
Oh, no. You do that when you hate the company, you know his company, and you want to leave this shit company. Isn't that what you put in there?
I do a lot of things a lot of different ways, but if it's a general email, I do the A/B test to see which works better, and they work out pretty much the same. If I just put, Jim, or I put Jim, would you consider leaving? If it's company that I don't like, I'll definitely, I will put, hey, I've heard a lot of people are leaving company X, so would you, it's a good time to talk.
Okay,
And
next topic.
what kind of responses did you get, Rich?
I don't know what's a good response or not anymore, to be honest with you, but I got pretty decent response from those emails. But I mean, like, it's funny, that was just before I hopped on here, there was an email that Outplay was putting on another seminar. Outplay was putting on a webinar about how to do cold outreach about this whole topic, because everyone's outreach, the response rates are crap for most people. I mean, it's funny because I'm looking at my list now, beginning of the year, I was getting 60-70% open rates, 30-40% response rates. As the year goes on, I mean, my response rates are 20-30. I got a couple of 40s, but lots in the 10s and 20s open rates, and maybe a high of 36 on a response. The numbers suck for everyone.
Hey, you have made 50 hires, man. You can even take a break.
51 now. 51, and I got an offer going out in an hour. 50 for B52.
You said, Rich said, I just remember seeing this, and he was talking with you about it online, that he has to send.
He's crashed.
He's frozen. He's frozen.
Ignore him when he comes back.
He's 100.
Ignore him when he comes back. Ignore him. He's not here. He's still frozen.
All right, I got to take this call anyway. So
I'm frozen. I'm frozen.
He always
take
does
over
that. He always
until
does
Animal
that.
comes back. I'll take over.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Mario. So
Yeah, tell me.
why did you get into recruiting to begin with? Animal's still frozen.
Okay, you mean why I got into this business, or why I got into it per se? It was luck.
Why?
I guess I just fell into it. It was the first job I could get.
Okay, right on.
I got into an entry-level recruiting kind of job. Then I kind of figured out how they do the business and how they run it. So I'm from a business background per se. Okay, I quit school and got into business full time. All right, after my 11th, or you can say high school. All right, and then I came back and completed my schooling, and then did college, and then got the first.
What kind of business did you go into when you quit school?
My father, my father kind of, he runs a travel agency come import.
Really? And what did your parents pay for you?
Colombo. Huh?
Did your parents pay for you to set up the business?
What? No. I joined my father's business, man. I was working for my father's business.
Okay.
All right. So
okay,
I mean, that
listen,
crashed.
I got a question. Okay, here, Ivan, who's not here today, Ivan Gulenko, he said that if you want to have successful client relationships, try to make your clients friends. It's awkward in the beginning, normal in the long term. I don't know if that's true. What about you, Mario? You don't sound like you make your clients friends.
I'm on good terms with my clients. I mean, so-called some clients.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What's
See,
a friend?
A friend is someone I can pull a beer with and go and sit and chill. Okay. I prefer to keep business as business. Business is business. Simple as that. Okay.
No,
it's business. It's not personal.
He's not giving.
Oh, he's breaking up again.
I'm here. I can hear you.
Oh, there he is. My closest client right now, my best client, we're always texting back and forth at all hours.
So he's your friend now?
No, not at all.
Just texting back and forth about what? About the baseball game
about candidates, and it's all
well,
about
that's
work.
business.
But are you?
I'm not friends with any of my clients, though.
You're not familiar with their families or anything, their kids, whatever?
Why should you be? Let's be real here. We're running a business here.
Maybe we should define friends before we get into this.
So
I don't hang out with any of my clients, and I'm not saying that there's a line that I don't draw. It's just no, we don't coincide in our lives.
Let me make some.
Well, let Ernie talk.
I guess what
the
it
wisdom
is
of the
is
ages.
building relationships, and when you build relationships, whatever in the hell you want to call it, friend, not friend, whatever, a client, you got to build a relationship with them. And I find that in these days, when you call somebody, your name appears. the first thing they want to see is if that name appears, no matter if it's an employee internally or externally or whatever, I will pick up that phone depending on whether I want to talk to that person, whether he's going to make me or she's going to make me give me a lot of drama, or is there going to be a nice conversation? Our job as a recruiter, when you pick that, when they see your name, it has to bring a smile to their face. And
What brings a smile? Just your pleasant demeanor generally, is it
just
tough
what it
jokes
means is
or
there's,
what?
there's
Okay.
no drama.
I'm sorry.
You're not
Can I
The
nagging
guest
all the
wants to
time.
interrupt you. Go
Can I
ahead.
please interrupt you? I'm sorry. See,
No, what I'm
Ernie,
talking.
Ernie is like Yoda, okay, of the recruiting world, okay? He's like got all the wisdom and everything except the lightsabers, all right? If anyone got the reference, it's a different story. But
No,
let me be
what
frank
I'm
on
saying
one
is
thing.
that when they'll pick up the phone, a lot of times when I was working internally, I was the VP of HR. I'd see somebody call me, and I just say, "Shit, I want to talk to him, man," because I ain't got no time for that shit right now. I got other things.
Exactly.
Other times there are people that are calling me and say, "Yeah, I want to talk to them."
Okay, but you're not telling our listeners, and there aren't many, okay?
Okay.
There are,
Hey,
but you're not
Animal,
telling us what's
Animal,
the content. No,
Okay,
I'm sorry,
me
I'm
now,
not
let,
interrupting.
let me go with that then. And as you're talking to them, you're gonna ask them how your day, how you doing? How's your day? What's happening? And sometimes they will tell you about their kids going to college. They'll tell you about they just got COVID. And you better remember that, because next time you call them, you're gonna say, "How you feeling? How's your child doing? She got COVID in
See,
school."
I've tried
That
that,
is
and I come
huge.
across as such a phony. It's unbelievable. Go ahead, Mario.
See,
Mario.
I agree with Ernie to a level, okay? See, you do exchange pleasantries, you do remember about them, but that doesn't make them your friends, all right? Because the day they find someone who's better than you, they're going to dump you. That's business 101.
But that's what we're talking about. They ain't your friends. You can call them any damn thing you want to call them.
Exactly.
But
See,
what you want to do is you want to enhance the relationship.
Exactly.
And
See,
one way
you
of
need to
enhancing the
work from.
relationship is to make sure that they pick up the phone when you call them.
Exactly, true. That's true. My customers will pick up the phone when I call, except for one nut job. Okay. Okay. She's crazy. She's in the crazy bin. Okay. God, I hope she doesn't hear this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, this is the thing. Okay. Leave picking up the phone. All right. You need to work from, I mean, Ivan may have a different viewpoint, but if you can say no to your customers, that's far better. All right. Than being like, yes, you're my friend. I love you. You're the so-called greatest person in my life. Give me business. Give me deals. No, that's bullshit. Okay. You're running a business. You act like a business person. Okay. You make friends outside business. Okay. With your customers.
I think with this, using this one client in particular, he's in the same city. He's here in San Antonio. We don't communicate about friends, family, anything personal. It's all about work. And we disagree sometimes, and I've got to have a conversation that's going to be harder with him today.
But do you have conversations with him that get him upset, or is it just talking?
No, there's been a couple times when he's been not upset with something that I said, but we just disagreed, and I told him he was wrong. Yeah, and he appreciated my point of view, but he stuck to his. But I think what is nice about that is we've gotten to a point where I can tell him he's wrong. He can tell me he's wrong. He just did earlier today about a specific candidate and why he doesn't want to speak with them. And I replied and I said, I don't entirely agree with you, but I understand. And I can't force him to meet with this individual. So
hold on. If you were on better terms, could you insist, say, you have to meet this person? I busted my ass to bring this person in. I believe in him.
You risk the relationship.
I did know
that.
Yes, you would risk the relationship if you didn't have it already. I told him those things, Animal. I said, hey, you need to speak with this individual because, and I listed out the reasons: level of experience. This person can easily slide up into sales management and sales leadership, which is exactly what you're looking for. He responds and says, no, I don't like the industry that she's coming from. I said, understood. And I don't entirely agree. So we're going back and forth via text message.
How about this? You're insane, okay? If you don't listen to some advice, something's wrong with you.
No, because
You
that's
need to listen
where
to wise counsel. Okay.
that's
Hold on, how about
Michael
where
G. Cox is
Amy?
wise
I like
counsel.
the way Amy deals with the internal
Oh
hiring
man,
managers.
I
well,
missed that
that's
episode.
more internal. I can't do that with it. Even with an internal, I wouldn't do that, because what you're doing with that kind of talk that you just mentioned is you are damaging the relationship, damaging the trust, and also highlighting the fact that we are on such different planes of thought,
Hmm.
and we're never going to connect. And now moving forward, they're going to disagree or not trust the things that I share with them or tell them
True.
as much as they used to. Well, you're
Okay.
damaging the relationship.
Can I share one thing if you don't mind? Amy's
Sure.
going to kill me for
Go
this.
ahead.
But Amy can be Amy. Not everyone can be like her. Okay. That's a fact. All right.
She has her own relationship.
She has her own relationships. If you go and argue like her, you're going to get sacked out of the company. It's going to be
Hold on.
faster than the snap.
If
He
you
comes
have
to-
not built the rapport and you
Hmm.
have not built the clout, like they're like, oh, she knows what
Yeah.
she's talking about. It's
Exactly.
like for those of us that are old enough, Ernie, Animal, maybe Rich, she's like E.F. Hutton. When she speaks, people listen.
Yeah,
Anybody remember
exactly.
E.F.
Here's
Hutton?
what she
No?
does. Here's her technique, okay? From day one, where she has no relationship with this person, she comes in and she says, this is how it's going to work. I'll put into it what you put into it, okay? And you have to reply to me within, 48 hours or something after I submit somebody. She puts in place a number of reasonable rules, and she says, you have to do this and I'll do my part, okay? And one of those things is, in my opinion, with Michael G. Cox as a very good example, if I feel passionately about a candidate, you better take a look at them, okay? And can you tell the person, the manager, from day one of working with that person, this is how it's going to work. This is what.
Animal, guys,
Let
can
the
you
guest
excuse
go
me for
first.
5 minutes,
Go
please?
ahead. Yeah.
Excuse me for
Yeah.
5 minutes. I gotta grab my grub.
Oh, you
Okay,
want to
just hold on
go
one second.
away? Okay.
No, I'll grab my grub and come. Give me a second.
So
okay?
Do whatever you have to do.
Animal, if you really agree with that, absolutely go for that. But you can't do that every time just to try and get somebody in front of a client. It has, because I've done this before where I've said, look, the background doesn't make sense based on what you told me you wanted, but you really need to speak to this individual.
Yeah, I can't
And you
believe the guy wouldn't. This person. It's hard for me to believe that he didn't go ahead with you. Ernie, anything else on this before
No,
we?
I was gonna say it goes back to two parts. One is you have the foundation. So let's go back after my answer too. I want to go back to Michael and say, how did you create that foundation with that client that you're talking to?
Good question, Ern.
But the second, the other part is, you can tell them and you can explain to them, but you could also use the opportunity to find out, what am I missing? What does this guy have or doesn't have? What does she
Well, he told them didn't like the company pedigree.
Didn't like the company.
Yeah.
Yep, it was the pedigree.
And a lot of it depends on, then you go back to why you should talk to them. And sometimes you can convince them, but just
Yeah,
really
exactly.
worry about what you can control. But
Yes.
it's like-
Regardless of the level of relationship they still have, and this is an owner of an organization, he still has, his number one job is to keep people out of his organization, or one of his top responsibilities. And
is
Go ahead.
that your client that you have a real good relationship with?
yes,
Okay.
To keep
Have you
people
told
out.
them that?
That's his
keep
job.
people out of the organization, because
And
as
you've
soon as
told-
you let
you've told-
somebody in,
you-
it causes problems.
No, but I mean, did you tell him that you know what, you really suck, and it sounds like you're keeping people out of your organization?
No, what I have told him is, I appreciate the fact that one of your main responsibilities is to keep people out of your organization. And I'm trying to get people into your organization. So sometimes we're going to be at odds. And I'm totally okay with that if you are.
Which is a point where, in the past, it was always, why do you want to come to my company? Now it's changed. This is why you need to come to my company. You know, it's they got to recruit, and before
Okay, let's move on. I want to ask the Rich Rosen rule on. Does it apply on this one? Okay, are you
What's
with
the
me,
Rich
Rich?
Rosen rule?
Yeah, it's a Rich Rosen rule.
And I'm
If
right.
the client,
I'm back,
is,
folks.
thank you. If the client is too hard to manage, walk away. Okay. Michael G. Cox says he's got a good relationship with his
Unless
client,
he's your only client.
with his client. But are you listening, Rich? You don't
This
look
one
at
and only.
Pay attention, Rich. God damn it.
Okay, but he's got this great candidate. He told the guy, listen, you've got to see her, and he absolutely refuses just because of the company she's coming from. What's up with that? What would you do, Rich?
What the
One
hell?
candidate does not make or break your relationship. You know,
no.
I mean, if you,
and by the
so-
way, we totally disagreed, and he's meeting with 3 others
yeah,
for,
I mean,
for one opening in
Okay.
San Antonio.
Okay, he
that's
gave his
gonna end up
answer.
being 2.
Next, well, moving on. Mario on business development. Okay,
Right.
this is what
That
you
was
said
your
to
answer.
do.
You pay
you
attention,
made a
Mario.
noise.
Oh, okay, well, your answer, Rich, was to agree. You backed off from the Rich
I didn't
Rosen
back
rule.
off.
You thought it was too extreme. The Rich Rosen rule
Another
has to be.
contradiction. Another contradiction.
I know, God. I
Hey,
don't know how we
nothing is,
survived this
guys,
thing.
guys, nothing is set in stone. Everything has its
I'm
own.
like him defending.
Pros
There
and
he's
cons.
Unless
defending
the
Rich.
animal.
I'm not
leaves it
defending
online.
Rich. I follow the policy in life.
You're,
Okay?
you're the
Let
president
me,
of his
let me
fan
get
club,
to the
man.
next question.
No, no next
No, we
question.
don't want you to.
What is the rule?
The Rich Rosen rule is if
Dump
the
them.
client is too hard to manage, walk away. Okay.
And he's true. It's true.
Yeah, but doesn't mean you
hard
can't
is-
have any disagreement.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hold
That's
on.
not
I
gonna
gotta-
is
jump
There's
them.
like-
one thing. Listen, it's one thing about disagreeing about the candidate. It's another saying, no, I won't even see this person. I won't spend
But
an hour.
that's a disagreement. You're not going to get your way every time. But if you send, if the guy gives you a reason, hey, I don't like people like my clients. They don't like people from IBM because who the fuck does? You know, but I mean, at the end of the day, they don't like people from IBM. They want people that actually want to work, want to hunt,
That's
want to,
harsh.
you know,
Yeah.
participate,
Jeez.
not,
Yeah.
you know, be at the be a big
Well,
wave that's 10 years at a date.
You know what? I would come back and say, look, I once had a candidate from Bell. That's a big Bell Canada, right?
Bell
It's a
Canada,
b-
right? Yeah.
Institute bureaucratic, and I don't want to see him. They saw him, they loved him. Okay, they couldn't get him. That was the problem. He decided to stay where he was.
Yeah,
So-
listen, you're not saying they're right, but sometimes it's just they're not going to listen to reason. If it happens all the time, that's a problem. If it happens once, that's a flag, not a
Hey.
kick to the curb.
Yeah,
True,
I still
very true,
believe
it
this
happens.
candidate would be great for them,
Yeah.
but I can't it's like, dude, everybody's raised kids. I
I'm
can't.
placing this candidate with your competition, and you'll see who's
Exactly.
sorry.
Right.
Okay.
Whatever.
I gave you the
Okay.
first shot. you
Hold
know?
on a second. Okay, so Mario was
Yeah.
coming up with a business development process. And he said this was what he wanted to do. Schedule emails to go out at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay,
Hmm.
and he wants to know if 9 a.m. is a good time. That's his first question. Is 9 a.m. a good time?
Hey, that was a long time ago.
So what was your conclusion? When do you
No,
send them out now?
9 o'clock happens all the time.
Yeah, 9 a.m. is fine. I
Every day.
schedule most of my emails at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, so what are you
Why-
complaining about?
Wait,
And
let me
here's-
ask you a
Dude,
question.
at that
Wait,
time,
wait.
I
That
was
happened a
like,
long time ago.
Whoa. Why would you schedule the email at 9 o'clock in the morning? What's the reasoning?
I
Because they're
thought
already
it'd
in
be
the middle
like,
of their day working, or you want to read it later? Or do you want to send it at 6 in the morning? so
Rich,
it's
I don't have the answers to that. I'm going to say it very openly. I thought it was a good
Technically-
idea. Okay.
it's not a good idea, but technically, I just read I just saw this the other day, and I'm going to start doing it. They said the optimal time to send an email, it was some study, like 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Really?
because everyone's just kind of checking their emails, they're cleaning things up, they're done working or whatever. I usually send mine at 6 in the morning, or I'll send them at 6 at night, 5 at night. But now I'm going to start doing them at 4.
Hung
No, I'm going
Lee-
to follow that. I'm going to try that out. Let me try it
Hung
out.
Lee, who was worshipped in England, okay, he posted something just yesterday that said that Sunday is the best day to send emails to managers, like engineering managers and people
100%.
like that, because they don't have time to read them during the week. That's the only day that they
God.
can read sort of
And
extraneous.
the more people we tell about that,
Animal,
we're gonna
my
destroy
wife
Sundays.
my wife already complains that I work too much and I'm too focused on my business. If I sit
Tell
on
her to sell her
Sunday and
car
send out
then.
emails, she'll
Tell her to
divorce
sell a
me.
car. You just need
Get
the
a new
car,
wife.
just need the
Get a new
groceries.
wife.
Huh?
Yeah.
Get a new
Yeah.
wife.
No chance. I mean,
Yeah.
I've become what I am because of her. That I'll
There
give
you
her
go.
credit there.
That's nice.
Okay, well, you walked out on your father's business. I guess you couldn't get along with them. Okay, that's my guess.
Not really. The business crashed, Animal. The
Oh,
war started in Colombo and the business crashed in Steyr.
Really?
Kaboom!
Oh, that's where it
Yeah.
was down there, eh? Okay.
Yeah, it was in Colombo. I mean,
Okay. Okay. So here's his sequence. Here's his emails pattern.
Jesus,
He
this is
says,
gonna be entertaining.
day 1, he sends it. Then day 7, every 7 days, up to 4 emails.
Yeah.
Does
Stupidity.
that sound reasonable? Are you still doing that, Mario? Is that,
Nope.
why not?
I stopped that shit.
Why?
I sent
Rich
2-3
told him
emails and I
not to.
follow up. Yeah, Rich spoke earlier. And
Oh,
Dean
really?
also told me that's stupidity.
My birthday's
Yeah.
coming up, Mario. Come on.
Oh, what do you want, Rich? I can't afford everything you want, but maybe I can send something.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
He's sending Mario.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
it?
that's the best option.
What was
Happy
wrong with every
birthday.
7 days? Too widely spaced? Too widely spaced?
Not just widely spaced. Let's say I've still not nailed it down. Okay, I'll be open about it. And maybe it's way too widely spaced, I think.
What did the master say? Rich Rosen.
The master,
sales-
the god
the
of the animal show,
software
please.
salesrecruiter.com. Okay, he told you it was no good. What did he advise you to do in its place?
Better just email them and call them the next day. End of story.
Yeah,
Follow up
okay,
in 2-3
but
days.
Rich Rosen says do it to the max. They might not answer their phones, okay? You do it till...
See,
and-
animal, that's the problem. My whole sequence was only about emailing, okay? Because I never knew how to call a customer. All right. Now I've learned to call customers. I'm calling them.
That's the next topic, but I want to say something that Tom Tuna,
shit.
friend of the show, says. He says, I'm going to contact them till one of us dies. Okay. I'm gonna
I love
email
that
them
show.
till
I
one
love
of us
that part.
dies.
Is he an independent recruiter? Is he on the outside?
Hybrid.
Yeah,
He's a hybrid.
but animal, listen to me here. I love that concept. I've told that to my recruiters. You call them till they die. It
Okay,
doesn't
and
matter.
David Perry is another
the
one.
master.
He'll call somebody. Mind you, he told me before he called somebody 80 times. A couple of weeks ago, he said it was only 60. So there's an element of doubt there. Okay.
Listen, you if the person's really good, they're on the mark, you're gonna chase them down till they say no. It's not like you're gonna call every single person 100 times.
Yeah,
you
true.
know.
Very true.
Now, do you call them once a day, or do you call them once in the morning and once in the afternoon?
Most people I'll call, like this is my deal. I will email them the night before. I'll call them the next morning, send them a text after that, right after I leave my voicemail. If I leave my voicemail, which usually I do. And now I'm kind of playing with not leaving a voicemail because some people say you shouldn't. So I don't buy it, but I'm testing it out. And then I text them, and then maybe I'll call them. Then the next day, maybe I'll skip. Next day they get an email. Probably get a phone call if I think they're really good. Maybe the day after I'll get another text to them, and I'll just rinse, wash, repeat until I fill the role.
No, when you send a text, do you reiterate what you had in your email, or you just tell them something different?
Yeah, it's just say I'm following up on my voicemail. Listen,
You got to cross-reference, right?
Yeah, so I'm saying following my voicemail, or just not following up on my email, one or the other. But listen, I saw your profile. I thought you'd be a fantastic fit with your XYZ experience. Would it be a crazy idea to have a conversation?
One of the things I've done that a friend of mine suggested was, when you send the email and you do the voicemail, when you send the text, the third one, you say, "Hey, Bill, just sent you a email and a voicemail. Check it out," and then sign it Ernie, and leave it at that. They don't know who the hell you are. They don't understand it, but they'll go look for it.
See, this may
people
not
say to do
work
that
with
with voice-
clearance, guys.
What?
This may not work with guys who hold clearances, but Ernie suggested.
Yeah, the clearance guys are always interesting folks.
Interesting folks, they're crazy.
I need intel folks if you got Fed guys. I need Fed guys. But the
Fed for what? What
but-
Fed?
For Fed sales guys, I need Fed sales guys.
Let me
for
look.
sales agents.
I'll keep you updated.
Yeah. But the end of the day, Mike, you look like you're floating away. You're out in space.
You do look like it, yeah.
It's in spacewalk.
But
Rich, a question if you don't mind. I'm sorry for interrupting you. You text them from your phone or from your PC?
I do it for my PC. Ring Central's tied into Prelate, so it just does it all.
Central. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay.
What do you think of Zoho as an ATS? I mean, it's a cheap
I haven't
option.
seen
yeah,
it
but-
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I am going to look at. I like to check them out. So there's a CBiz or Xelair just redid their whole system, and they had a really cool one a few years ago, but they're kind of a bunch of clowns. So I'm doing another demo.
Aren't
with
they
them.
all?
Yeah,
I
they,
mean,
all- they were really. I mean,
I'm
they had
using a.
well, they originally had a calendar that you couldn't put anything in. You could just see that you had a call. You couldn't show, it didn't show who you called, but the rest of the program was really good.
God.
So I'm curious how they fixed it up. So
Okay,
All right.
you asked on Herc, okay?
Who,
You
me?
asked, yes, Mario, the
Okay.
guest.
Okay. Yeah.
You asked for someone to provide you with a script for a business development call. You just told us in the
Yes.
past you didn't know how to do a business development
True.
call.
True.
So
true.
what did you learn? What is your business development phone call now?
Hey, I'm just following up on an email I sent you with regards to your potential openings. Let's talk.
And what's the results like?
I got a customer with that. I'm happy.
Mario,
what's
do
in the
you email them or do you call them?
You see, the problem was I used to email them all the time. Okay. All right. And now I've started calling them. All right. I think I told you guys earlier, right? I asked Rich during one of the shows, how do you call? What do you say? Okay. So because of that, I started learning to call them. See, I can call a candidate, man. I don't give a shit. I'll call the hell out of a candidate. Okay. The customer was a bit different. Okay. I don't know how to word it, how to,
So, it's the same call,
present.
right? Everyone thinks it's a very different call. It's very
Yeah,
pretty much the same call.
I'm realizing that now. Rich. I owe you more than a beer, so I'll remember that.
Okay, is that settled? That's settled then, right? That was the big deal with the business? Okay.
So now you call.
Okay. So
Michael,
then
Animal, I hope you recall, I emailed you 2 years back and asked you for your cold call book.
I'll send it to you. I
No,
rewrote.
I have it. I said I emailed you
I
2 years
rewrote it.
back.
I'm rewriting it. It's much better. When I look at
Okay,
the
please
older
send me a
copies, I
copy.
don't like
I would
it.
love to read it.
Okay. It might
Yeah,
be
send me too.
concoction-
I'd like to see it too.
Okay.
Always
Okay.
looking for better stuff.
Oh, well, Rich Rosen,
not?
I don't think you have to take any advice from me. Thank you.
Everyone,
Okay.
everyone has a better way of doing stuff. No one's got the
Not
best
me,
way.
okay?
Always-
Exactly.
Even
That's
you.
beautiful, Rich Rosen. You're the
yeah,
man.
you can always
Okay.
learn something, man.
So then
True,
also
true,
here's
true.
we're not finished with his process from years ago.
What
And
process?
his
Okay, go ahead.
LinkedIn connection. Then he sends a LinkedIn connection request.
Mhm.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, I do, but I have not done that for quite some time.
Okay, he doesn't. In other words, I do, but I don't. Okay.
I mean, I
And-
haven't done for more than 6 months. Okay, I'll accept that.
Okay.
All right, but now my guys are doing it on my behalf.
Okay. How many guys do you have?
I got 4 guys working with me.
Okay. Okay. Here's somebody asked, what are some good questions to check some a candidate's motivation? Does anybody have?
Oh, that's actually a very good question. Tell me.
What was
Does
the
anybody
question?
have an
I
answer?
I wasn't
I'll
ready
bet
for
no.
a good question. What was the question?
Why are you talking? Why are you talking to me?
Essentially, yeah.
You're talking to me. I mean, you call them up, say this and this, and say, here's the job. They go, yeah, I'm interested. Okay, first thing I want to know is, are you still working with your company, with the same company? Yes, I am. Okay, why are you talking to me? What's going
That
on?
sounds so confrontational to me. Okay.
No, you tell them, why are you talking to me? And then what I mean is this, you're talking to me for a reason. There's an underlying reason of what you're looking for in your next move.
You called me.
Ernie,
Okay,
Ernie,
I'm happy
excuse
where
me,
I
wait.
am.
No, but you're
Ernie,
calling me,
Ernie,
but you're
I'm so sorry.
but you're talking to me because when they
Oh,
don't
God.
care, they hang up. They say, I'm not interested. Bye.
Ernie, I'm so sorry. Listen to me. The way you say it is very different from the way we say it. Okay, it's like, why are you talking to me? That doesn't sound friendly at all.
No.
Okay, that sounds so confrontational. Okay,
Yes.
I'd slam the phone if someone asked me that question.
No, but you got to lay the groundwork first. Talking to you, enjoy it, a little laugh, little Rich Rosen laugh, and
Yeah,
then you
that's
go in
true.
and say, "Why are you talking to me?" You got to all put it all together, brother. Put it all together.
Anybody else find that confrontational?
You got to word it the right way. Like I think it's the right idea, but I just say so. I do most of my entire pitches or my entire recruiting process is almost done on the first call every time. So I call the guy up out of the blue and just say, he says, yeah, I'd be interested. Sure. First question. So let me ask you a question. What would make you leave? You just say it like that. It's the same question, just how you say it. You say it the tone of voice. You say it like, what's going on?
It all depends on your tone and how you're
Absolutely.
talking. And you want to talk to them. Hey, look, I like your background and all this. What's going on, man? What's happening? Why are you looking to leave? Why are you talking to me? I like what I hear.
It's all
I like
about
what I read.
tonation, I think.
What was that?
Yeah.
It's all about tonation.
It's
Yeah.
tone. You got to have tone and confidence and energy.
True.
See,
If you're
and
whispering on the
Mario, you need to tone it down a little bit.
True.
'Cause you come off like you're ready to fire, man. Like you're ready to kick some ass.
I like his energy. I like his
Yeah.
energy.
No, the
But
fire-
you're not a
I'm very
candidate.
different
That's
on the
not.
phone.
That could be. See, but what you got to do is you got to have a conversation.
You-
They're
you-
like
you
wondering
know
who
what?
the hell are you?
Can
You got to
can I
bring it
say-
down.
Mario, I got to tell you, this is the biggest disadvantage you have in the U.S. is in all
Yeah.
honesty, there's nothing you can do about it, and it's not fair. It's everyone gets all these calls from India, Pakistan, and everything else.
Yeah,
They get
true,
that,
true,
they
true,
have that going. You need a voice changer, and you kick ass.
I told
Thank
him
you.
just to practice talking like you and me, okay? And Michael G.
go.
Cox, not even like me, okay?
Okay.
He should practice
You
5
know
minutes a
that.
day. His English is fantastic, and he'll
Absolutely.
sound like an
you.
American in no time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Don't say
backed up by
process.
Rich Rosen there, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
I brought it up before the
Mario,
show because
call
Rich,
him and say you're Rich Rosen.
Yeah, don't do
Rich,
that.
Rich, you know people are going to label us as racist. Now
Yeah, I
we're
know. So you
saying
gotta
that.
be careful. Like
Hey,
you say it. Yeah.
I'm as racist as you can get.
Don't advertise it, okay? Don't advertise
I don't like my
it.
own race. So you
Okay,
can't get more
don't
racist than
advertise
that.
it. Okay. Okay.
This show is the most diverse of anything. Of any
We're
show,
gonna move
you are the
outside. We're
most
gonna move
diverse.
away. We're gonna move this side.
Okay. Should we talk about counteroffers? Because Mario had a
Oh,
bad
Jesus.
experience.
Oh,
with-
damn,
with
Jesus
somebody.
Christ.
And I read a
30K on that
guy.
damn deal.
I
Did
read
you
a
cry?
guy
Did you
who
cry?
said, yeah, and he says, here's
I-
how you handle a counteroffer. Never lose your cool with the candidate. Tell them
True.
you're supportive if they believe that the counteroffer is their best choice. Tell them if it doesn't work out, not to be afraid to call you back. And he says many people will feel indebted to you, and they'll give you referrals, or they'll give you job orders in the future because you're so friendly when they're screwing you. Okay, but that's not what Mario.
Usually people
That
are.
wasn't his kind of tone.
Oh,
The guy
I
accepted the
enjoy-
offer. Over the weekend, he accepted an
Okay.
offer from a different company. Then a short time later, he came back and he wanted another job because the other company didn't work out. He said, "I wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole or something like that." Am I right?
The 100-foot pole. Yeah, he cost me 30K. Okay. I ain't gonna forgive that piece of shit.
Yeah,
All right.
you gotta.
Whoa!
Oh, Mario, you see there? You gotta
Language.
tone
No,
it.
no,
You gotta tone
no,
it
no.
down.
I'll tell you
man.
why.
gotta tone it
I'll
down.
tell you why. See. Let me tell you why. Okay. He told me I gotta do this for my family, man, just for 5K more. Okay. He blew an opportunity with an awesome firm. Okay. And what happened then? The company who we took the offer with,
Mario, wait. Was the offer still open?
what do you mean?
The one
The
he
original
refused.
company said yes, he can come back if he wants, but he had a second candidate who he liked as well.
Yeah,
okay?
and that guy also backed out at the last moment due to COVID. A guy had passed away. All right. So it cost me 30K. Simple as that. Okay. Painful $30,000.
Okay,
Yikes is an
but
understatement.
is there anybody else here who's willing to turn the other cheek when someone accepts the offer and over the weekend accepts it somewhere else? Because that's essentially what this. Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, you need.
Dude, the guy was
family.
no. Let me tell
I
you
don't
something.
think
The guy was
anybody
unethical.
here. I don't think anybody here would have the time to quote turn the cheek. You got to move on. And
Yeah.
go find somebody else.
Exactly.
Move on
I
to the
found
next.
someone else.
Yeah.
But that guy also backed out because someone died due to COVID. Who do I blame?
And,
My lucky stars.
and then the second part of it, you look at what kind of job they've accepted. If they became the new vice president of operations and they tell you I'm staying here, then they're a contact for future job orders.
Ernie, let me tell you what happened exactly. Okay, the guy took another offer for 5K more. All right. And what happened is he took that with a company called Noble, all right, which is another Fed contractor. All right. And that customer called him, that company called him up within 1 week of starting and closed the offer, closed the position. They lost the project. All right. So he was out of a job. He had a TS SCI level clearance. Okay. You need to be employed for that, at least for a period of time. All right.
So did
Okay,
you?
we're
did-
going too into the weeds on this one. Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
so I'm not sure. So he's too bitter to be nice to the person.
I'm not a nice guy.
Ernie is saying, be nice to him because you don't want to burn any bridges. There's 5 minutes left. Does anybody have a topic they want to talk about? Drop my mouse. Anybody? I got lots of them. There's only
What do you
5
got?
minutes. Does anybody? Mario, you got something you want to talk about?
Nah, nothing much at the moment. I
You're
mean, yeah,
kidding.
of
I
course.
don't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
you.
True. I had an interview nightmare today. Okay. Just imagine the scenario. I'm getting in my car, driving on the way to office. Okay, and a customer with whom I'm trying to get a deal closed with calls me saying the candidate, they want to schedule a final level interview with the candidate. So I reach out to my recruiter and tell him, go ahead, schedule it, find out if it's available. He says they are available. Candidate changes his mind after the invite is sent from the customer. Can you believe it? At the last freaking minute. And now that customer is like kind of mad at me. Yeah?
Okay.
Because I gave my
So you're
word.
just complaining. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah, I
say
need to rant
blow
at
off
someone,
steam.
right?
I said if you have a question you want to discuss,
So
you're
how do you
just,
handle this
you're looking, you're
situation?
sobbing
That's
on
what
the
I want to
show.
know.
This isn't the place. There's
How do
no
you handle
crying on the
You can just
recruiting
very
animal
easily
show.
explain that you can't control human behavior. You had a great candidate. They flaked.
No,
I
they didn't
can't
flake.
control that.
They said they're not available at 1 p.m. They are available at 3 p.m. after the interview has been scheduled.
Well, then tell them, hey,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did.
something
But
came
yeah,
up.
Doesn't sound like a tragedy to me. Okay, let me ask you. Okay, what about this? You were complaining before about getting insurance. Does anybody here have insurance for their agency? Insurance? Really? What kind of insurance?
It's usually
Errors
and omissions.
No.
You too? No?
No.
So Mario, did you get it?
nope.
No? Rich, do you have insurance? Oh, it's only Mike. And how much?
I had it for a short period of time with the client that was needing that.
Some customers need it for contract roles.
Fairly
basically.
cheap. I found it.
okay.
How cheap?
I don't remember.
It's so cheap, right?
$10,
$10,000
$15 an hour, $15 a month, something like that.
Hey, that's
Needs to
cheap.
tax
Where do you get it
write-off,
from? Tell me.
You know,
Okay. Did you guys see the final thing? Did you see the remark on my Facebook group? If you're cold calling a candidate, you aren't a recruiter anymore. You're a
oh yeah, I
telemarketer.
saw that moron.
That's a moron, man. Give me a break.
Rich wrote
Every-
that one. I think Rich
Tom,
Well,
wrote
that's what I
that.
asked the guy, but no one ever answers. What do these people do that don't cold call? What do you do all freaking day?
Rich,
there's
you
no
gotta
way
get
you can
out of the '70s, Rich.
Yeah, apparently so.
Remember that one?
But
That was a good one.
There's just no way you can have enough
See,
candidate flow of quality candidates if you're just
True.
getting talking to the people that respond to your stupid email that they probably didn't, half the guys you didn't see anyway. So,
Correct. Rich, I
Yeah.
want to ask you a question before you run off. How is Chatterworks? They're better than
it's good. I mean,
Seamless.
they're in beta, so I mean, it's still an up and down program, but I mean,
Okay.
I think it's really good. I think it's
And
good.
that's,
Okay,
that's a finding. That's a contact finder. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Which,
exactly.
which is the best contact finder though? The emails,
such
and
thing as the best one.
the mobile numbers.
They're all, I mean, they're all about the same. You got to have more than one, but pre-contact
Right.
tools, Swordfish, Chatterworks. Chatterworks is going to do some really cool stuff though. Like it's one to
Okay.
totally keep an eye on. They're just in beta now, but
All right.
they're going to combine a bunch of, I was just talking to the CEO the other day. They're going to be combining a bunch of AI tools into it so it can do a lot of the outreach. I just connected them with a couple other folks. There's another company called Abstract does recruiter training. Like if you got your team, you know, Mario, you can have them basically come in. They can using, you know, AI will basically tell them what to say. So
Okay,
it
that's
trains
awesome.
them on the fly. Yeah, it's not that expensive.
good.
It's like 60
And then
bucks
you
a
get
month.
the voice altering
Yeah, I'm
machine
okay
that
with
he
it.
told you to get before.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
What's the name of the machine? I'll buy one right away. I'm gonna order one. I don't give
Good.
a
I
shit.
bet you they can get it for cheap actually. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
what is a
your
voice
Texas
modulator?
accent.
It's a voice modulator or what?
I don't know.
I know
We'll
what the
look it
voice
up
was.
later. Okay, we don't know them offhand. Okay,
You
because
guys should know it up.
we've all got wonderful accents.
Okay. See, let me be open about one thing, okay? This is not going to be my only business, all right? But yeah, it is my current business that generates revenue for everything.
I personally think you've got a great tone and
Thank you.
spirit, and I don't think your accent is really a big deal.
No,
okay?
it's not. It's just people are dumb.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
Maybe in the States. Okay.
in the
Anyway,
States they're dumb for sure.
I'm going to introduce everybody. Mario the Recruiter, raise your hand. Thank you for being a guest this week. MarioTheRecruiter.com. Ernie Marino, FoodIndustryRecruiter.com. TheSalesRecruiter.com. Michael G. Cox, raise your hand. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And the SoftwareSalesRecruiter.com. Rich Rosa. Goodbye. Isn't that what Oprah says?